Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Okay then, so I'm going to hopefully in time do some interviews. So to this interview, I'm really proud that the guy that I've got coming in is my housemate, which is great, you know, because he's being braver than I, because he's going to reveal some stuff about himself that I myself haven't even done. So, you know, he's got some real guts to do that, so I respect him for that. So, and he comes the incredible Daniel! Yeah! Yeah! Righto! Right then, so obviously we are going to get nitty gritty with his mental health issues and struggles that he's had himself. So I'll take my hat off, you know. You're okay with that, aren't you, Dan?
Yeah, sure.
Okay then, so I'm going to read some questions out to you and just, you know, answer them as best you can, okay?
Yeah.
So, you've struggled with schizophrenia, yeah?
Yep.
I obviously know that, so, but we're going to talk about that, okay? So
yeah, that's fine.
It's all good, well done, very brave. Right then, so, at what age were you diagnosed, and can you remember what it was like to be told that you had schizophrenia?
I would have been about 21. And I don't really remember my reaction to being diagnosed till quite long after being diagnosed because of the severity of my illness. But when I
can you remember like acknowledging it, like being aware of it? Like,
I remember sort of being aware of the label and how that didn't help really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So that's the first question, you know. Okay. So we'll just get.
Well, it makes you feel like a bit of a failure.
Yeah, of course. Well, I've had a diagnosis as well, and you know, I felt like a complete loser. I felt like an idiot. I'll be honest. I was embarrassed and stuff. So yeah, it's true. Yeah. All right then. So, I obviously know you went to university before you had become ill.
Yeah.
What was you like as a person before your illness, and what were your aims like when you was at university?
I was quite a confident, cocky person, and I had an answer.
Don't surprise me, I'll be honest with you.
I had an answer for everything. There's like I'd often argue with people just for the sake of arguing to explore their sort of. Everyone's got ignorance and prejudice, so I would argue with people for the sake of it. Now, sort of, I'm too scared to say boo to a goose.
Yeah. So you just like testing their intellect?
No, not just like I think everyone's got prejudice, including myself. Everyone's got prejudice and ignorance.
Of course, without a doubt.
And I used to quite enjoy pushing people's sort of prejudice and seeing how far you could take it. So it was really quite sort of not confrontational, but I would be quite, I don't know what the word is, but you know, I would quite like to play devil's advocate with people's beliefs.
So good, eh? Yeah. In a way, you know. It's confident though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, anyway, so yeah. Can you, so obviously this is going to be the serious one, okay? So, I mean, this is going to get to the nitty gritty. So, can you describe some of the symptoms that you were experiencing for the reason why you got the diagnosis of schizophrenia?
Yeah, I experienced auditory and visual hallucinations, so I was seeing things and hearing things. Like when I was in hospital. I remember.
What do you mean, like when you was in hospital or before you was in hospital?
Both.
Right, yeah.
Before, I remember when I was confused. I was in the university flat or shared house, and I remember they being quite worried about me, and one of them saying, "Why don't you go for a walk and clear your head?" So I went round a walk around Birmingham, and I remember seeing snipers on top of buildings.
What do you mean you actually saw
I
them?
saw them, and I thought they were going to shoot me for being like a. I don't know. I didn't actually know why, but I thought like the government or something was after me.
Yeah.
Sounds really crazy now. But if you really believe that,
Yeah, of course. I mean,
It's
especially
like
if you're seeing it.
Yeah,
Why
it's
would you disbelieve
it's like a horror.
what you can see?
It's like a horror film coming true.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you laugh at it now and you think, oh, that must be crazy. But
Yeah, yeah.
if you can really imagine what it's like to see snipers on top of buildings and actually believe that they could shoot you at any second, to believe that and just keep walking round and believe that you're going to die any second, your heart is going, and that is really quite frightening.
But I don't see obviously there is a massive difference, but it's the same thing. If that was happening to someone in real life and there were snipers going to shoot them and they were aware of it, what they would experience would be the exact same thing as you experience.
You experience the same emotion. You're
Yeah.
sweating because
Yeah,
you
of
really,
course.
because the paranoia and the hallucination is so vivid
Yeah, yeah.
that you believe it to be true. So
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes, it is true. in
Yeah,
your
it is,
mind.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
that people take away from the fact that you experienced it.
Yeah.
Like they might take the mickey in that, but actually you actually experienced it.
Yeah, yeah, and it sort of built up. Like I started when I was walking around, I started thinking if someone had a phone that they were actually they're actually secretly taping me on their phone,
So like
so they're
massive-
following me and take like
so
massive
it's like
conspiracy.
massive paranoia.
Yeah, massive conspiracy. And then I remember seeing people, and I remember at one point, I don't know if I should say this, at one point I stayed in the hotel for a bit, and then they sort of shooed me out of there and they realised I was being a bit odd. And then I remember standing outside the front of the hotel like this, and I thought I had bombs in my hands.
Really?
I thought if I moved, the bombs would explode.
Right.
But I really believed it. Again,
Right.
it sounds like crazy
Yeah,
and stupid.
yeah.
But if you really believe, I remember just standing there like that, and people were walking past, and I wouldn't even turn my head. I was just like that, staring at them.
What, thinking the bombs could go off?
Yeah, yeah. I was just very. The memory come. I don't
Okay.
remember everything about it because I was. When you, I don't know, when you hallucinate when you hallucinate like that, you don't remember everything.
I mean-
apparently.
You used to drink a lot at uni, yeah?
Yeah, I was sort of self-medicated a bit. I
Yeah.
knew that I was sort of not quite right. I wasn't really experiencing anything solid at the time, what you'd call schizophrenia. But maybe for a year before, I was sort of drinking and not really coping. And it all came to a head when I was listening to The Cure's. I know they got this song by The Cure, and I think the chorus is "Everything's coming to a grinding halt." I remember just listening to it over and over and over and over in my room, and then becoming quite unwell.
But sort of like, I suppose when you're drinking and you're thinking all these things are going on,
Yeah.
you have to have a drink, don't you, I suppose?
Yeah, to
And
relax, yeah. But then it comes back worse when you wake up the next morning with
No,
a
of
hangover.
course, but I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I remember being at Northgate Hospital waiting to see a psychiatrist, and this guy had come in, and I always remember it, he'd come in and he went to reception and he said to the woman, "I think people want to kill me," and she turned around and said, "Have you been drinking?" He said, "I've been drinking a little bit," and she sent him away. And I sat there and I was gutted for him because I thought, listen love, if you thought people were going to kill you, you would want to have a drink. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you sent him away.
Yeah.
Just because he's trying to bloody relax and thinks someone's trying to kill him, and they just sent him away, and I thought, that is out of order. Like, no, maybe you shouldn't be... If you think someone's going to kill you, man, you're going to want a drink, and right, you know? It's like-
Yeah.
But is there anything else that, I mean...
I
you
saw
know,
more hallucinations when I was...
what about hearing things and stuff?
I thought I could read other people... Embarrassing now, but I think I thought...
It
I
was,
could
it was
read...
your illness.
I thought I could read other people's thoughts, so I thought I was experiencing other people's thoughts in my head.
What, like, they're thinking,
I
and
can't-
they're planting their thoughts in your head, or...
I just thought that I could sort of...
You could hear them?
I thought I could hear their thoughts clearly in my mind. So I thought
You
my
thought-
thoughts were their thoughts, and that I was reading. Thought if I looked at them, what I was thinking was what they were thinking. That I could read their... Sounds really crazy now.
Well, no, I know, but that's the illness.
Yeah.
It's the illness. It's not you. It's what you experience with the illness.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something to be embarrassed about the illness that took over
Yeah,
your
yeah,
life. You know,
yeah.
it's just the way it is.
Yeah. There's another hallucination if you want to know about it.
Go on, Aaron.
There's one more. I remember when I was sort of... I was just laying in bed. I spent the first 2 or 3 days in hospital laying in bed. I didn't get to the toilet or anything. I don't know how I held it, but I did. And I was staring at the window at the end of the room. I was staring all day, and I was watching sort of really horrific things happening to my family. I could see like my mum and all my family, and I just watching them I could see them being tortured, and
you could see them.
I could see them being tortured. And although your logical mind tells you, well, that's not there, that's not them, you know, I could actually see, like...
You might try and rationalise, but you like to think that your eyes don't deceive what you can see.
Yeah, I saw some really horrible things, and yeah, so...
But what were you thinking? Like, say you're seeing all these things, how are you reacting to that? Like, seeing these things, like, how are you feeling inside?
I just felt the world... I didn't know if I thought I might be in a dream or something, or... I don't know, that's not... I knew it was happening, I thought it was happening, but there was a sense of unreality about it, but not enough for me not to believe it.
Yeah. Like, almost like a big conspiracy sort of.
Yeah, like something's up here, but it's all going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't expect this, did you?
Wow. Anyway, so would you say that they were the main symptoms why you got the diagnosis?
Well, also I know at one point I wasn't responding to stimulus. I was just standing there.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I was just sort of standing in a very rigid state, and I remember it going. They'd try to put a tablet in my mouth, and I wouldn't even take the tablet. I was just standing there.
But why were you standing? Can you remember, or you were just in a state that was there anything?
I just think it was just a point where I just couldn't cope with all the strangeness that was happening.
You're just petrified?
I don't know. Just something flicked in my brain. It just shut off.
Yeah.
It was just like
too much.
Too much. Reality is too much.
Yeah.
So I was just sort of, I don't know how long I was like that for. It could have been an afternoon. It could have been a couple of days. I don't know.
Right.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Well, no, for saying it on camera, that, and for going through it, Who could go through that, To them, it's not going on, but you went through it like it was real, so, well done for going through it, of course. Anyway, so, what was it like to be hospitalised? Can you remember what you felt it was like being in there?
It was a very scary experience because I did not believe I was in hospital.
Right.
I kept going up to the nurse and saying, "Why have you locked me here? What do you want from me?"
Right.
It's all part of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
And it was just even when I started to come round, and after a couple of weeks I realised, I think I might be in hospital. I still did not see it as a very therapeutic place to be in terms of getting well.
But is that because of your paranoia about the whole thing?
No, I just feel like if you're in hospital, even if you're not experiencing psychosis, being institutionalised is not the best way to get better.
Because it's so intense. Like if you're surrounded by everybody else that's ill, like
I think like one-to-one care and encouragement rather than being managed and I don't know. Rather than being managed as just another face in a hospital.
Yeah. Well, it's your experience. You're entitled to your own opinion, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right. Do you think becoming ill changed your personality and what you think of yourself now? Obviously, I just mean like how you was, say, you're cocky at university and stuff, to how you are now. Like, so obviously becoming ill, like through when I become ill, who I was before I ill, and then when I become ill, what I'd become being ill.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Because I felt like such less. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously, I've managed, I've been lucky, but I mean, you are developing and stuff, but so how you were before, obviously it's changed you, right?
You mean, what do you think I've lost from becoming ill?
What do I mean? It's obviously, it changes you, doesn't it?
For a long time,
I
lost the cockiness, and I was a very meek person. I still am quite a meek person.
Yeah. But you love meat, right? So that makes up for it? It's a joke. It's a joke.
Another classic.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I just think like maybe also I don't want to keep laying on thick, but it is what happened. I spent so long laying in bed and not socialising with people. I was literally laying in bed every day, staring at the ceiling of my room, because I could not handle some of the symptoms I was still getting when I was out of hospital. So I was like laying in bed, staring at the ceiling. It was almost like again, it's like being switched off where you can't cope.
Yeah.
I was like that for a number of years.
Yeah.
And I think that when you go through something like that, if you go through it for 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 definitely, and if you go through it, something like that that's so isolating, like you say, you feel less and less, you feel nothing. And yeah, what am I trying to say? Just that it's like total isolation, except for your real, very closest family, and I think that's an effect on you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I found, for when I become ill, that I find, like, obviously things are so intense, like, your mind takes such a battering that, you know, it takes such a battering that there is this, like, you want a quick fix, but it's just such a slow, gradual thing to repair and to improve because of the absolute battering that you take mentally.
Yeah. You got to build yourself up from nothing.
Well, this is it. Yeah, more than, you know,
less than nothing,
the rock bottom, like the gates of hell almost. You know, like literally.
Yeah. But no, go on.
We'll move on. And unless there's another point.
No, I can't remember what to say.
Right. All right then. So what happened to your life as a result of the illness?
But like I say, I was completely isolated for a long time, and even after the period of isolation for a couple of years, when I did start sort of going out, it was with my brother to like a pub, and so I was being sort of alone with other people, so I would sort of, you know, sit in the pub and sort of freak out on anxiety, really, well, just freak out on anxiety, so I wouldn't really talk to anyone, and if I did, I was quite uncomfortable and awkward, and it was sort of an artificial sort of social life. So yeah, just again, that I think schizophrenia is one of the most isolating illnesses you can have. I think it's just so completely isolating.
I mean, they're probably, you can obviously had experience, and I agree, you know, but probably other illnesses experience isolation. Yeah. No, but I knew your point. Yeah. I wouldn't want to undervalue anybody else's illness.
Yeah.
No, I know your point.
Definitely.
Without a doubt, I understand your point. Yeah. But obviously, you know, what happens to your life is you literally lose everything, don't you?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
You've lost everything.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and what could losing the person you are? I mean, that's quite a big thing to lose, isn't it?
Especially if you like who you were. Yeah, without
your
doubt.
personality.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
agree. Yeah.
If you haven't got yourself, what have you got?
Well, this is it. Yeah.
So yeah. What was the question?
I don't know, I was going to try and think some witty, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so move on. So, at what point did you think that it was possible you could build your life back?
I know, it just sort of slowly happens without you realising. I don't know. I remember not believing it for a long time, not believing you could build a life, and I think that can be really negative, because obviously you're so ill, and like say you lose so much, you can feel like, where the hell do I start?
I suppose because the symptoms are so overwhelming.
Yeah.
But even when you do try and start, you just get knocked back down.
Yeah.
The symptoms are just crush you.
There's so many. I felt with my journey, there was so many. Like you said, like now you mentioned it, I sort of realised that there's so many sort of mini failures.
Yeah.
And you have to just keep going and keep going.
Yeah.
And eventually, you turn some of the failures into something.
But from my experiences, there is just. Sometimes it feels like constant failure.
Yeah, at the start.
And it's like, I used to feel, how many times am I going to get knocked back down?
Yeah.
Like, you keep trying, and it's soul destroying that you try so hard.
Yeah.
And you get nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're getting through it, boy.
Yeah.
You're on the rise.
Yeah.
It's all good. Come on! How did it make you feel to get into work? From obviously having... You know, being really ill and stuff.
It was incredibly hard for the first 2 or 3 years, first couple of years, I was still experienced, although I wasn't not getting any freaky symptoms, I was still second guessing, are they talking about me? And that could be quite worrying at the time, and I had to try and stop myself to go up to someone and say, "Are you talking about it?" Luckily, I did.
No, but I mean, I live with you. I did. You know,
But what was it? How did I feel about work? I felt.
But to be making that move,
I felt incredibly privileged to be able to do any sort of work, because I know from how ill I was that I may have never got back to work.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember, like you know, you used to have big Mohican and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got into work and you got yourself a smart haircut, and you know, I mean, you know, and I used to listen to a lot of Shed 7 at the time. And you know, the song, it's getting better all the time. And I remember you getting into it, and I still remember, and you'd got into work and stuff, and you felt things were really moving on and stuff. And I just remember you used to say to me, just getting better all the time. Like, this is genuinely, I don't know if you remember, but I remember, like, and I knew you meant it, that you were so ill, and now you are literally clawing your way back through it all, you know, and you make, and you know, I feel proud, you know, and I know that I give you so much stick in that. You know, but you know, I admire, you know, the journey that you've come through. But yeah, it's all good, you know, it's all good. Well, so you obviously have a degree. You got a degree.
Yeah.
You know, well done. And obviously becoming ill and that, not being able to use your degree.
Yeah.
Like, now, how do you feel like when you become ill, but you've gotten so better, so you can start thinking better and that, but you're not that on the ball, but still having your degree.
Yeah.
Not on the ball. I mean, you could be better. I mean, you could be better. But not being able to, like, feeling, was my degree wasted?
Yeah.
I have this, but will I ever get the chance to be able to use my intellect?
I did used to feel quite sort of an injustice that I lost so much being ill, not just my mind, but I lost all the plans that I was making with my life. Life was quite exciting. How
of course.
I, you know, had a degree, was doing a master's and that, and I thought, you know, might be able to lecture at college or something, and if I get in somewhere, and there's quite a lot of status that goes with that, and it sounds quite, I don't know. Sounds not that important, and it shouldn't be that important, but I think it is.
No, it's important. It's like the thing with anything. Like if you're a footballer and you get into an academy, well, it is important because it's what you've been working towards.
Yeah,
you know? For anything, you know.
Yeah.
You say it shouldn't be important. Well, it is important because that's what you're striving for.
I sacrificed so much for my education because I was determined that I would get an education. I don't know. I sacrificed so much. I sacrificed social life. It was the be all and end all to me to get a degree, get a master's, and then get a good job. That was like very important to me, and to lose that and then be laying in bed and sort of
to lose that and then to lose everything.
Yeah, it was just another thing on top.
Yeah, what a kick. Huh?
Yeah. And when you've sacrificed from the age of 8, you know, from a young age because you want to get on.
Yeah. And to have your whole world crushed.
Yeah, and because so many people... No, it doesn't matter. There's so many people...
To be crushed and then not even be able to, like, build it back because your symptoms are holding you down.
Yeah.
Like, you've been crushed and you can't even get back up again because your illness is keeping you down.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it must have been like, hard to take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, how are we getting on? Right. So what has been the worst thing about becoming ill that's happened to you? I mean, would you say everything that you just lost? Like the future you were so excited about just being taken away, like the symptoms that just destroy you emotionally. The fact that it's so hard to get back up on your feet again.
I think the constant knockbacks.
Yeah.
When you're trying so hard.
Yeah.
And to just leave the house and walk down the street,
Yeah.
and you just can't cope with that.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're getting better, and you're trying to, I don't know, go to a social function.
Yeah.
And it's just too much for you.
Yeah.
And another example, yeah, and you know, and you keep trying that same thing.
Yeah.
You know, this has gone for years. You're trying that same
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And that, just that feeling that you might never get anywhere with it,
Yeah.
is absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
But it does get better if you keep
This is it.
going.
Yeah.
But it is the worst thing,
Yeah.
because you know, it's bad enough having all that happen to you, but then to have all that failure, it's failure enough.
Yeah.
It's not failure. It feels like failure
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
that
yeah.
ill.
Yeah.
But to have to keep banging your head against a brick wall.
To be trying so extremely hard repeatedly
Yeah.
to do something that anybody else doesn't even think about.
Yeah. People just take it
like
for
they go and
granted.
thing, you know, they're thing, and like it takes so much for you to even turn up somewhere.
Yeah.
That they don't think about it, and that's taking every single tiny bit of strength that you have to even just turn up.
Yeah.
And then to fail, you know, and then you got to think, well, do I go it again? You know, this is killing me to even try.
Yeah. And it's like I don't think people realise how hard, when you're in a bad place like that, how hard you actually are trying.
Yeah. Right, next question. Well done. So, going for you, is there anything you've benefited from experiencing your illness?
I've realised that well, before I got ill, I was quite focused on getting on and money, and you know, maybe having a nice house, hopefully, things like that. And now I think the important thing about life is the people you have in it, and the people you share your life with. That is way more important than something as stupid as a car or something. So yeah, that's
I live with you, right? This is it. No, it's of course it's very important. It's not,
obviously we all want to get on.
I think, yeah, of course, it's nothing wrong with getting on.
Yeah.
But I think when you lose everything, you really value, you know, the simple stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know,
they sound like little things, but they're quite big things, really, and they're the things that should be the most important.
I think if people have a lot, but they don't have that, they would certainly wish they had that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's nothing wrong with having both. But I think when you lose the basic qualities of being wanted and having friends, and you know, that's the stuff that, you know, makes you feel good about being human, right? Yeah. For anybody, you know, if you don't have that, you're probably in a bad place. Yeah. Right on. So, okay, we're going to end this part of the question. So, do you have any advice for anybody that might be in a situation you were in when you were in a bad place? Like when you was really ill, right? If you could talk to people that are that ill and in that bad of a place, what would be your advice to them? Through your life experience, you know, we're not professionals, but through your life experience, how far you've come. What would you say?
Just to not let your diagnosis define you, which I did for a long time. Because it's such a terrible label, schizophrenia. I need to rebrand that. Like I think Spastics rebranded to Scope. I think they need to rebrand that, because it's just medical jargon, and I think it can hold you back. It's a horrible label to have.
I think, like, even with me, you the label, like, you associate it with yourself, and I think for me, like, even when I was in a good mood, like, just thinking about that word hanging over my head would just hold me down. It would make me worse. About 100%. It would just make me worse thinking about the title.
I think you can almost feel like a patient with, and expect less of yourself with a label like schizophrenia. It's such a medical word.
But I think you probably for a long time, me, label yourself as well, do we not? You end up labelling yourself. Like, you know, which is probably because of the label that society has. But you end up identifying yourself with it. And it can take over.
But I quite like the fact now that although I don't define myself as schizophrenia, that there's people at some of the jobs I do that don't even know that I have schizophrenia, and I find that quite nice. That although it's nice to tell people if you're struggling or something, I find it quite nice that I don't know.
They treat you as you.
Yeah.
They treat you as you.
Yeah, and that's quite. I don't know. That's quite nice. I think it's good to be healthy about it. And if it ever came up, I would be honest about it. But I don't know. It is quite nice to not. I don't know what I'm trying to say really.
I know exactly what you're trying to say, and I've got to admit, you then in a lot of ways you're braver than I, because there's some people in my jobs that know.
Yeah.
It's come up for whatever reason. I haven't denied it, but in other jobs I haven't said anything.
Yeah.
You know, but because I like being treated as me, and I don't think because I'm really well and stuff, I'm fine. I always feel that I should tell them.
Yeah.
Because I because I want to say it's a load of crap.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a little bit nervy about it.
Yeah.
Like, people that know they're okay, but I'm still quite reluctant to express merely just the truth. Like,
yeah.
I shouldn't have to hide,
yeah.
but there's still something holding me back from, like...
being open and honest with everyone.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, right, so that's the serious question. So,
okay.
I've done this with Poppy.
Yeah.
This is the quick fire round, okay? So, you know, I need on-the-spot answers, okay? So you ain't going to have too much time to think about it. We're going to go straight in, okay?
Right.
So, quickly, what are your hobbies?
Writing.
Uh-huh.
Staring into space.
Yeah. Is that a joke, or what?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right, you moved on, you're too slow, right?
Reading.
Favourite sport to watch?
Football.
Favourite team?
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah, I got your Chelsea top, right?
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah. Oscar,
This
yeah.
is it, yeah. Didn't really wear it, did you? Sorry to spoil Norwich, what's that? Anyway, move on. What would you change about yourself if you could? It's a deep one, I don't know why I added that.
That's not really
it's
a quick
it's too deep, it's too deep. Probably your haircut, I'd say, but
yeah.
like mine, right?
Yeah.
This is it.
I'll get you a wig like mine.
Yeah. Anyway, right. What is your proudest accomplishment? You ran out of time, man. I need a good one.
Trying to be kind all the time.
Yeah.
Trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It'd be a doner kebab, no salad, garlic mayo.
Right, I was intrigued by that one, I'll be honest with you. If money was no object, what would you do all day? Keep it, you know, no rude answers. Go on,
what are you saying?
Just come on, I'm not saying nothing. Go on, anything? Money all day, what would you do all day?
Probably what I do anyway.
I said keep it clean. Right, yeah, okay. What is the best gift you have ever been given? I answered that intentionally because can you remember that Christmas I got you them boob cushions?
Yeah.
Like those boobs, those cushions?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that? That was a good present, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Right, what's the worst gift you've ever been given? I'm joking. Yeah. What is your favourite zoo animal? Quick fire round.
Tiger.
Tiger, be a tiger. What is the last book you had read?
Madame Bovary, I think it was. Or I'm trying to read Naked Lunch at the moment, but it's very weird.
Yeah?
Yeah. You're not interested. Don't pretend you're interested.
I didn't. I'm just asking the question, mate. I just wondered if you because I sometimes see you eating your lunch naked. Is that why you're doing it? Come on, I'm not. You know, don't test my intellect.
Come on.
You know, come on. Right. How long does it take to get ready in the morning? I'm intrigued by this answer as well.
Well, it takes an hour or two to get out of bed.
Yeah, but to
half
get
an
ready,
hour, you know, sort yourself out, you know.
Normally it takes you what, like 10 seconds, doesn't it? Like wet your clothes and run out the door to the bus stop.
Yeah, I was talking about the whole process of trying to wake up.
Oh right, yeah.
You know.
Right, it's quick fire round. Okay, come on. Karaoke song.
No, if I was forced to do karaoke, I would just cry into the mic.
Cry, like that song.
Yeah.
Crying.
Yeah.
Crying. We've done that before, right? It still seems funny to me. What celebrity would you want to meet for a packet? Hang on. What celebrity would you want to meet for a packet of crisps?
Well, we've got to share a packet of crisps with someone.
You just meet and you both have a packet of crisps.
But I haven't got to share the crisps.
No, you keep the crisps for yourself.
As long as I can keep the crisps for
You
myself.
keep the crisps.
If not, I don't want to.
Give me a celebrity. Like, come on, you know, author, musician, like comedian. You know, you like all them things. So something to live.
Probably just that London comedian, that Londoner. You know, real big comedian. I mean, we've got Tony.
My dad.
Yeah. No. There's this alternative one called Tony Law. He's really weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Meet him. Meet him. Who is the most intelligent person you know? Well, just my eyebrows. No, seriously, who is it? Well, I'm a pretty clever guy, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm asking these ones again. No, go on then. What would you rather do? Ride a bike, ride a horse, or have a multi-pack of crisps? No, seriously, what would you rather?
What kind of crisps?
I'd have a multi-pack, maybe a variety of all flavours.
Let's be honest, it doesn't matter what kind they are.
That's what you want, right? Obviously, I'm moving out soon. What's been the best thing about living with me?
Just to always hold on to humour.
Yeah.
In difficult situations.
The worst thing? I
Um,
can take it, go on. Seriously, I can take it.
but it's quite annoying how you stand in front of the mirror all the time.
Like naked,
Like
right?
all the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
Naked.
No, not naked.
Not naked?
No.
Right, anyway, yeah, so that's it. So, you've been an absolute sport, and to thank you, give us a hug, firstly.
Alright.
And I have bought you a present for doing this.
Yeah?
Yes?
Yeah?
Hopefully it'll be the best present you've ever received.
Is it a Yorkie?
No. It's a multi-pack of crisps. Got a multi-packet of crisps there.
Yeah.
And some cake.
Brilliant.
It's all good, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You've been a star. It's all good. Good lad.